Greetings, various people across grand spectrums of time and the multiverse. My name is Alexander Gordon Johans. Now, there is an idea in sort of theological discussion known as Pascal's wager, and it states that God may not exist, but considering the risks posed if he does, you may as well believe in him and try to get into heaven, just in case. Now, when it comes to Trump, I propose a kind of version of the Pascal wager, except the Trump wager. Trump may not actually be a Hitlerian Nazi founder of a Fourth Reich in America. But the chances of that happening and the risks posed if it does happen are far too great to risk any of that happening. Particularly now, the one good thing that could have happened about Trump has happened. The establishment are shaken. The establishment are now shitting their fucking britches. I mean, for God's sake, we've already seen some establishment candidates freaking out and going, Trump's awesome! I know we said he was a child rapist Nazi person, but no, now he's president, we must suck his dick. And that's kind of a sign of how scared they are, right? Like, when powerful people decide to kiss some fucking ass, that's them being scared. You know, when powerful media corporations go from, you're the devil incarnate, I hate you, you are completely despicable and fuck you, to, oh my god, I love you so much, yes, feed me all of your sperm. Then you know that they are shit fucking scared. And I'm gonna be honest, I am shit fucking scared. Pretty much everyone I know who isn't fucking daft is shit fucking scared. Even the people who are trying to be optimistic and don't seem to be shit fucking scared are kind of shit fucking scared quietly in the background and trying to desperately distract away from the fact that Donald Trump is in a position of power, because it's all very well and good him getting into the White House and saying, well, you know, maybe Obamacare is a good idea and maybe we don't need to build a wall. But look what his cabinet is. Look who he has chosen to appoint to run the country. The run of Breitbart, of alt-right movement. Nazis, racists, bigots, and homophobic shits. Donald Trump may be trying to say to the world that he's a nice guy, really, but he's doing this whilst filling every one of his advisory positions with cunts. You know, it kind of reminds me of how I play Civ 5 to a certain extent. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, we're friendly, we're gonna trade with you. Meanwhile, mass all of the troops across the borders. Yeah, we're friends. Just let me set up this settlement right in the middle of your fucking borders and just stockpile artillery pieces. Yeah, totally fine. And now I'm just waiting for the moment to declare war and crush you. And Trump isn't Hitler. See, Hitler was in charge of a relatively powerful nation, but it was a relatively powerful nation that was hemmed in, that was trapped on a relatively small continent and had the admittedly weakened by communism, or well, distracted by communism, elements of Russia waiting there to drop like a hammer on him if he was ever stupid enough to invade, which fortunately for us, Hitler was. America isn't in that position. Like, yeah, the Mexicans are pretty darn tough. The Mexicans don't seem like the sort of people who you're gonna fuck with. But the Americans have already, they can already deal with them, basically. And as well as that, like, people would stop them? Canadians. I mean, the Canadians are hardy folk, to a certain extent, hard weather temperatures are going to do that to you. And, tales from the First World War about, Canadian, infantry, like, they're really good fighters, but they're not the Russians. There really ain't any sort of, Russian equivalent when it comes to America, I mean, even thinking, sort of like best case scenario, if it came to it, civil war in America, as, we know that the majority of people did not actually vote for Donald Trump. So we assume that, okay, best case scenario, the majority of forces in America actually turn against him, and whilst this is happening, Canada and Mexico, sort of encroach from the north and the south, kind of squeeze them, and maybe we say that at the same time, Russia and China decide to say, hey, we're not totally out of the picture yet, and if you're gonna be fucking Nazis, no. But that's not really the likely outcome, is it? I mean, okay, China is effectively saying already, like, hey, Trump, there are a lot of us, and we can affect you, even if only economically. And they could probably do a lot more than just economic, if they wanted to. I mean, they have already decided to essentially threaten to withhold iPhone sales from America, which could put an economic squeeze on America, and thus on the political power of Trump. But Russia seems pretty darn fucking pleased with Donald Trump. And to be honest, Russia was pretty much sponsoring a lot of the anti-Trump, a lot of the anti-Clinton, pro-Trump propaganda. I mean, the Russians. I mean, maybe to a certain extent they're not entirely sure of the fire they're playing with, or maybe they know the fire they're playing with, but they feel like, hey, we beat Hitler last time. But there is certainly they did not like the establishment of America beforehand, so they weren't liking Clinton, and they, the safe harbor for people who were, being hunted by the Clinton administration and the Obama administration. People like Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, and they were, leaking information to effectively hamper Hillary Clinton's plans to get into the White House. And look, I don't like Hillary Clinton. she was an establishment candidate in America, and that's not good. She was an establishment Democrat candidate who was basically a Republican light, and I don't like that. But I like Hitler less, you know. Yeah, the whole sort of Hitler vibe doesn't really do it for me. I think all Nazis should be shot, and I think that anti-Semitic alt-right fuckos are going to get their heads against the wall sooner or later. And certainly, I'm thinking that that when it comes to the Trump wager, that he might be okay. He might be a well-meaning, stupid, greedy fucker. But the evidence is pointing to the fact that he's a bigoted fucking asshole, and that he's filling his advisory capacity with bigoted assholes who are Nazis, who are alt-right fuckers, who would persecute, who would commit genocide. And to clarify, because people seem to take this reactionary position of well, you're against genocide, so you're a hypocrite because murder is wrong. I'm not saying murder is wrong. I'm saying genocide is wrong. I am saying complete totalitarian genocide is wrong. I'm saying you take out the fucking genociders because it is in the numerical good for fucking humanity. It is utilitarian good. And guess what? If you don't believe in utilitarian morality, then what you are effectively saying is, well, it's okay for us to kill people because our little minority of people will be okay, but the majority of people, fuck them. The alt-right, Nazis, people who are in favor of genocide and of persecution, they don't get to have the same utilitarian weight behind their lives. Because if you are someone whose life would make worse and would cause harm to a majority of people, then you are someone who it is in the interest of utilitarian morality to stop creating those problems. And it's a hell of a thing, a hell of a different thing to say. It is moral to do X thing and than to actually do it yourself. I mean, it's like I don't think it is moral to eat meat, but it's fucking hard stopping doing that. So I'm not suggesting that anyone actually go out and start chopping people's heads off or putting bullets in their brains because they are alt-right anti-Semitic Nazi fuckos. But I am saying that my official position is that I regard Donald Trump and his administration as a problem for America and for the world. And that the moment he poses a threat to global security, then he can and he will be dealt with. And And if you think that those are provocative words, then you don't understand what you're saying. Because, to a certain extent, Angela Merkel, of Germany, funnily enough, said it best. We're perfectly willing to cooperate with Trump, so long as he is willing to treat people with kindness and respect and not be a bigoted shithole. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. In other words, if Trump isn't a threat to the world won't be a threat to Trump. If he wants to go quietly about his administration, not rocking the boat, not harming people, then yeah, he won't be harmed. But even so, I want him out of office. I want his advisors out of office. And I want every American who listens to my videos and isn't some alt-right fucker or isn't some fucking troll to take it upon themselves to study up on the political situation and vote these people out and be ready so that should the Trump administration take a turn for the Hitler, as I am now thinking that there is, say, a 60% probability now that it could, then under that situation I would advise my left-wing viewers in America to be ready to take the fucker down. Or at least to take his administration down. It may not happen, and I hope to fuck it doesn't. I hope to fuck the Trump administration knows where the fucking line is and knows not to cross it. I also think that only a fool decides to base foreign policy on the assumed goodwill of those around. Trump, even if he is not the fucking Führer, is an imbecile who shouldn't be fucking in charge of nukes. And my official position is now far more than ever that Donald Trump needs to go, Donald Trump should not be president, and that Donald Trump's administration should be fought with every fucking inch. So, I expect I'm going to get hate for this, and to be honest, I will await the latest pathetic attempt to bring me down by the cowardly alt-right. Any time once this has been published. But it's Nazis. The fuck are you gonna do, right? Like this on every fucking scale of morality, unless you are so immoral your opinion is moot. Nazis are that they changed the situation radically, right? It doesn't matter if you're a pacifist. It doesn't matter if you're against making political statements. It doesn't matter if you would rather avoid hassle. It doesn't matter if you're scared. The Nazis, they have nukes. And they have the largest military in the world. And they must be stopped. Oh, other way around. Thank you to all my Patreons at patreon.com for helping to make videos like this possible. If you wish to leave a like or dislike to rate the video for my analytics, that would be much appreciated. Comments are always welcome, though be aware that they will be moderated before being published, so please be civil. If you liked this video, please consider adding it to your favourites, sharing it to your friends, or subscribing. If you wish to help me out, or my channels, please consider whitelisting my videos in your adblock software, subscribing for monthly donations through Patreon, or giving a small one-off donation. Alternatively, I have a Steam wishlist for games I would consider let's playing or streaming, so if you would like to see me broken before the Dark Souls altar, or just happen to have gotten a duplicate of a game in a humble bundle, then you know what to do. I also have an official Facebook fan page, Twitter account, Tumblr, Reddit and blog, so you can stay up to date with all of my videos, blog articles and the things I care about. Links are in the video description. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I think that all that now needs to be said is ban all guns, institute universal basic income now, and ensure government is elected by proportional representation. Oh, and also, fuck the racists and fuck the alt-right. It is a reward for Patreons that who donate $5 or more, that they get thanks for donating $5 or more to my Patreon, and I haven't been doing that because I'm sort of shit at things, and so I am going to be thanking all the people who have donated $5 or more, basically for all time so far, and this is going to be re-recorded every time someone else donates $5 more in future. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. Thank you to Michael Hamilton Fletcher, who donated on September the 13th, 2015. And thank you to Marcus Anthony Infante, who pledged $5 on September the 3rd, 2016, and thank you to Henry Wotton, who pledged $5 on September the 8th, 2016. Thank you to both of you, lovely, to all three of you, lovely people, and I will indeed be remembering to keep actually rewarding my Patreons for, you know, donating money to keep me alive, because that's nice, and because I have seen people complaining that, well, you know, this link to send you care packages from Amazon, all of the things on the wish list are really expensive. Yeah, well, you know, you can just give me money as well. That would be appreciated. So Patreons, thank you. You are lovely, wonderful. Apologies that you watch my videos, because I'm a sort of grotesque flesh golem of idiocy. Why? But anyway, thank you. Also, thanks to Martin Heavey, Cestrian vlogger, for pledging $5 a month on Patreon.